welcome to another sports podcast. My name is Cayman. I am your host, and I have an array of hosts and opinions with me today. We are coming to you guys from the Black Ambition Media channel. Welcome to Black Ambition Media, your hub for engaging and diverse content. From The Rising, where we dive into black culture and politics, to everyday hip-hop with music reviews and hip-hop debates, and another sports podcast for the latest sports news. We've got something for everyone. Subscribe now and stay informed, inspired, and entertained. Lots going on. March Madness has started, so sports is in full swing. I love this part and this year and this time in sports. March is a very, very, very good time for a sports fan. You got March Madness going crazy. You got the NBA revving up. And I have a lot of NBA topics for you guys. First, I want to start here, though. Jackie Robinson and what's going on with, I would say, the Trump administration and scrubbing history. Now, sports is, to me, a barrier. Sports, to me, means something more in the whole scheme of how we maneuver everyday life. Sports and music are two things that are very important to me. Sports and music, to me, can transcend color, race. The things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis just as average Americans, just as average people on this planet, when you're talking about dividing us, I think sports and music are the best ways of taking those things that kind of bother us out of the picture, and a white person, a black person, a Mexican person, an Indian person, no matter what ethnicity you are, you can all root for the same sports team. You can all love the same song. That's why I think Michael Jackson was so important for the overall landscape of how the world is now. We've never seen nobody like him. We Are the World. When he released that, you seen all different ethnicities, and you saw the power of music and what music could really be. In different areas of sports, you've seen what sports could be for a togetherness that we see from American people. When you talk about the human race and you talk about the love aspect of what we are supposed to be as human beings, you can see that in sports and music, and that's why I love what we're doing here at Black Ambition Media, because sports and music is at the forefront of the conversations that we're talking about, and we always need something to bring us together as a people in a world of division. And we see what the Republican Party is doing. This is not a political show. We're talking about sports right now, but I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. The Trump administration is wilding. Ever since that man got in office, he's been wilding. What has he been trying to do? Get rid of what they call DEI policies, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You would think DEI standard for nigga. How Trump has treated DEI. We seen planes falling out the sky, and guess what Trump did? He blamed DEI. And I want to get to the sports topic now, guys. I don't want to get too crazy on the politics, but let me tell you what the Department of Defense did in Trump's efforts. Now, this is an article from Yahoo Sports. Jackie Robinson's article on MLB Legends Army history restored to Department of Defense website after removal. The Department of Defense has restored a story dedicated to the Army history of Jackie Robinson, who defiantly opposed racism in the military before breaking baseball's color barrier. On its website, the story, published in 2021, was unexpectedly removed from the department's website Tuesday night but returned on Wednesday. As KSBW and ESPN's Jeff Passan noted, the web page has been scrubbed on Tuesday with DEI added to the URL before the story's headline. The use of that term indicated that it was taken down as part of President Donald Trump's administration's efforts to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion programs from everything with ties to the federal government. The return of the story came soon after a series of statements from the Department of Defense Press Secretary John Ulott were shared with ESPN. In the first statement, Ulott denounced DEI and praised the department for its rapid compliance with the Trump administration's policy. Minutes later, an amended statement sent to ESPN took a different tone. With him acknowledging Robinson's military service, both statements said that content removed in error would be corrected, but did not clarify whether the page was deliberately taken down. Let me tell y'all, Trump's playing games and his people are playing his games. This article, this bio of Jackie Robinson was deliberately taken down. I wanted to tell you guys. It had the URL of DEI in there, and like we said, DEI is a buzzword for the Donald Trump administration. Now, I don't want to take you guys on a roller coaster of what DEI means, where DEI originated. Like, you guys should know this, and you guys should maybe read a book or know any information of why diversity, equity, and inclusion is important in everyday life. But let's roll it back. Let's roll it back because I want to make this point. Black people, to me, and minority groups are seasoning on a stale world. Very, very. And let me just talk about my culture and black culture for a second, because that's what I know. That's what I grew up on, and that's the essence of who I am as a person. Let me tell y'all how we move and we maneuver. Now, there was a world where baseball and football and there were segregated sports, and you had the white people, the counterparts, playing in the MLB. You had them playing in these major leagues, and this is why I say black people is seasoning, because you don't get some of the great moments in sports history without having a nigga on the field. Sports to me is very bland without having a black person on the field. Without a black person on the field, I don't even know what you get. So, us understanding and knowing the history of Jackie Robinson was very important, because guess what? You don't get the seasoning of what sports is without some of those great guys who had to endure some of the horrible racism that they had to endure back in those times. So, let me ask my panel real quick. If the MLB was white, majority white, all white, and Jackie Robinson was that man who broke the color barrier, was Jackie Robinson not DEI at that point? What is Jackie Robinson if he is not diversity, equity, inclusion in a time where there was all white men on the field and he had to endure them racist moments? What was he then?
I think the biggest problem is I don't think people know what DEI stands for. I feel like if you go up to someone and said, "Yeah, you don't like DEI," okay,
like, what is it? What is it?
What is it?
Yes, please tell me.
It's DEI. It's giving people a unfair chance. But what does it mean? Diversity. You have a problem with diversity? Well, no. Okay. Diversity, equity. You have a problem with equity? Do you know what equity means?
Right.
Okay, let's start there. Niggas don't know what equity means.
Right.
Do you have a problem with inclusion?
Right.
No, but
break down the equity then. Break down the equity.
So one thing there's like this great image that I've always seen for equity, but I can't share that with you right now. So I'll kind of just break it down. Mm-hmm. When people think of equality, that is giving people the same equal access to an institution or to something, giving people equal access.
Okay.
Equity is making sure that playing field is the same. So if someone needs a little bit more help than another person, we're going to give that other person a little bit more help so they are on the same playing field as that other person. Mm-hmm. So just to be even, just to make sure everything is square. So with equity, everyone might not receive the same amount of benefits. Right. You receive what you need. I don't think people really break it down like that in their head. They just think, oh, somebody's getting something that I'm not getting. I want that too. You don't need it.
But who's thinking like that? And this is the problem that I have, and Who's thinking that? I was going to say something else, but let me just say this. There's a group in this country that has controlled power for a long time. Who else is thinking that if I give resources to anybody else, I'm not going to have the same control and power that I've had for 400, 500 plus years in this country? I'm sick of y'all trying to hold every single resource, but then hold the black player and person accountable to entertain you, but then not want to give the same freaking advancement opportunity to those people's in front office positions, in coaching positions, and general manager and ownership positions. This is the problems that we're having in sports. I can't give you that, but nigga, you can entertain me. I'm not rolling with that. And the same group that has that problem is like, oh, I'm not getting this, you're trying to give it to somebody else, are the same people that have been controlling this country for a long time. And I want to tell y'all, the rich get richer. Y'all have to understand and remember the origins of this country and what it's based off of. The rich elite had the access first. They start letting other groups in that look like them because they understood and knew, oh, we're not going to have the power always. Let's bring these other groups in order to, buffer our chances in order to have complete power. This top 1% wants the history to be scrubbed away. And Jackie Robinson is a great example of what they're trying to do. And I want to make this point. We all know who Jackie Robinson is. We've been hearing about Jackie Robinson since we've grown up. We all know, everybody kind of knows who Jackie Robinson is and what he did, breaking the color barrier and all that great stuff. That's baseball. That's one of the main sports. And in our community, sports is something that we deem high. The athletes in there, we deem high. Xavier, tell me this, and this is the problem, and this is where it gets scary. In entities that we don't know so much about, it's going to be so easy for this administration and for these people to wipe that history out. Those people that have made significant strides in those fields that we don't know about, history will be scrubbed without us knowing anything, because they easily could have just erased this Jackie Robinson stuff from the website. Nobody knows. Yes, we have outrage. Yes, we'll put it back. But guess what? They're not putting back everybody's stuff that they erased and scrubbed from the history. So what we knew about, oh, I can actually do this and achieve this as a black person, I don't know anybody in this field that's done this. When I saw Kevin Hart and Jay-Z talk about ownership, and when I heard Jay-Z talk about him owning certain paintings and getting his name in certain liquor ownership, these are entities and spaces that black people have never, ever owned anything in America. And now he's putting his name. This is history we're talking about. And guess what this administration wants to do? You dumbasses that voted for him. Wipe it away. I just want y'all to know who was on the right side of history. Go ahead and look at the exit polls for this election. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Do you guys have any lasting words on the Department of Defense erasing Jackie Robinson's bio off of their website?
Just like you said, if they're doing it to prominent
Black
pop
figures.
icon figures,
Yes.
like Jackie Robinson, Mr. 45.
Yes.
Brother had a movie not that long
42.
ago. 42. Number 42.
Mercy.
Brother had a movie not that long ago. Yeah. So if they're doing that to well-known figures like Jackie Robinson, just imagine what they're doing to lesser-known political activists or political figures and engineers, doctors that people never knew or were never given that proper recognition, that are easier to sweep under the rug.
Right.
Like,
What's that one movie the Most Def played in?
you have a microphone, sir.
Yeah. What's that movie? Mos Def played a doctor that he was shadowing a real doctor, a surgeon, and he learned how to become a surgeon. Y'all don't know.
No,
Y'all
I
never
never,
heard of
I
that
ain't never
movie?
seen Mos Def play a doctor.
Right. I thought you talking about Will Smith.
I can't remember the name of that movie.
Nobody
like
was
people
slapped.
like people like that.
Right.
You know that you like now you only hear about them maybe through movies, but a lot of people haven't even seen that movie.
Right.
Right.
So it's really easy to get rid of
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
like that. you
Like
said.
Will Smith in that concussion movie.
Right.
Had no idea that that was initially discovered or put out there as a thought by a black person or African.
Right.
So just imagine like the people who don't have a movie, the people who aren't pop icons,
Right.
who are much more easily swept under the rug because people simply
Memories
don't
will
know
get
who
erased.
They are.
They've
Yes.
been doing it, man. We hear about every February. We hear about somebody. Oh, I didn't know that person invented
This. Yeah.
this.
That we use on a day-to-day basis,
That-
each
that-
and every day.
That was probably Beyonce back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that person invented that. But all of a sudden, over the course of the years, it magically disappeared, and you stop hearing about it, and all of a sudden, nobody knows who that person was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say I'm not gonna allow no administration. I don't care what the hell is going on. I ain't gonna allow nobody to erase my history and what I really, really, really understand and truly understand about the ins and outs of politics and just the everyday life of a black person in America. So that's something that I'll never, ever, ever get rid of. But RG3 had a couple of tweets. So Xavier, do you have those tweets?
I do have those tweets.
Man, what did RG3 say?
So he started off yesterday with a short, simple tweet saying, "Sports shows on TV should be about sports, not politics." That was given like reminiscence of like Shut Up and Dribble a little bit.
Right.
But he did receive a lot of engagement, over 12 million impersonations on Twitter.
Wow.
Or X if you call it.
Yeah.
So he did follow that up with another tweet.
Mhm.
A little bit longer, so bear with me.
Okay.
And put on my reading voice. This tweet is not about Jackie Robinson. His significance can never and should never be erased. Breaking the color barrier in baseball in itself is not political. Jesse Owens winning.
Wait. I'm sorry. Can you repeat just
Oh,
that? Breaking the color barrier. What?
Breaking the color barrier in baseball in itself is not political.
Okay.
What is it then? I'm confused. But
You're right.
Jesse Owens winning 4 gold medals in itself was not political. What was the climate? Jack Johnson becoming the first black boxing heavyweight champ in itself was not political. They all had political ramifications, but they were not political in
Not
itself.
this nigga tweeting they weren't political, but they had political
said-
ramifications.
Political things might have happened because Jackie Robinson played baseball, but that does not mean it was political. It just had political ramifications.
That's crazy.
Well-known figure, but he did go on to say they all have political ramifications. They all challenged the status quo of racial barriers to fair play, race relations, and civil rights. That should always be acknowledged and never forgotten. But they shouldn't be used as an excuse to push political agendas on sports shows on national television to an audience there to consume sports content.
So, like I said when I opened this up, sports and music to me are two quantifying factors, two quantifying entities, two important entities that can bring people together for a common goal. Not a lot of things that I see in this world bring people together, not divide people. And sports and music, to me, are two of the main things that I have seen over my lifespan that have brought people together instead of divide them. Sports, to me, have always been political. Thank God for a Bill Russell. Thank God for a Muhammad Ali. Thank God for some of these political figures in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that spearheaded movements and created change in communities. I mean, Bill Russell played for Boston. I mean, Bill Russell had doo-doo smeared on his wall in Boston. I mean, who's dealing with that in this day and age? And for the modern athlete to be who the modern athlete is, it had to be for some of those people that laid the foundation for a better world. And if you can't get the contracts you can get today because of some of them people, if you can't get some of the endorsement deals and dollars that you can get because of some of those people, if you're living and playing off the backbone of the support of some of those people that actually took a stand at a time, are you telling me that sports is not political? Has sports not been political this whole time?
I mean, that was honestly some of the most ignorant and dumbest backtracking I have ever seen in my entire life. Literal segregation was law. So I think going against the law in itself is political.
Right.
Challenging the status quo of racial hierarchies, nigga, that's policies 101. What are we talking about?
What are we talking
about? And I didn't want to be so simple-minded and so surface level as to why maybe RG3 feels this way. But if you don't know, just take a look at his Instagram. Take a look at his recent fashion choices. Take a look at his jeans. And you might see why he believes the things he believes. Matter of fact, I am so glad I didn't buy them ugly ass shoes for the 2 seasons niggas actually likes you. Get up out of here.
You know, I loved
and I'm glad that
I loved RG3 them 2 seasons.
We loved
One
RG3
season,
them
really.
2 seasons.
I mean, he tore his ACL.
We should have known.
You know?
He was the face of an organization that was promoting racism. Niggas was called the Redskins. Are we serious? So, I'm not surprised. If anything, I'm just surprised it took this long. I've been seeing him recently, and I've just been waiting for something like this to pop off. But I'm glad we have somebody like Jameli Hill who is here to put these niggas in their place.
Yeah, shout out Jamel Hill. Always has been that person that has been on the forefront, especially in sports talks, of talking political.
Right. That's what turned her to a content creator in the first place.
1000%.
Because somebody actually got to do it. Somebody actually got to stand on business. And, of course, it's going to be a black woman. Because y'all niggas suck.
We got a couple of them.
Right.
Man, Team Dochi. If you're a straight man, that's a red flag. Get a little gay.
All right, I think it's time for us to talk about sports now. I think it's time for us to talk about sports. You did enough on RG3. I like that.
You believe that?
Right. Yeah, I'll do something with that. All right, guys. You know, I've been really waiting to hear you guys' opinion on this. The Warriors, a team that we've come to love throughout the years. Now, I've got my Warriors garb on today. You know, I got the jacket on.
Love is a strong word.
I like good basketball. That's what I'm gonna say. I have my Warriors garb on today. You know, I like this jacket a lot. And I want to talk about the history of the Warriors real quick. You know, I'm a Lakers fan. You know, Kobe Bryant was my favorite player, and I've gotten to know the Laker history. So, Lakers will always be the number one team I root for. But the Warriors, they have a certain place in my heart. You know, coming from the Bay Area, being a Bay Area kid, Warriors games are something that I would watch all the time. I had that channel on, my cable package, so I would watch the Monte Ellis Warriors. I would watch Andre Beatrice be the Warrior center for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They don't even know about Andres Beatrice. I saw the We Believe era of the Warriors with Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, Al Harrington, Matt Barnes, young Monte. Those were exciting times, and even though the Warriors didn't always win around that time, drafting Steph Curry in 2009, I grew up watching the Warriors a lot. I saw the process of them becoming great. I saw the Mark Jackson years where Mark Jackson said, "This is the best shooting backcourt ever," and people were looking at Mark Jackson like he was crazy.
Like, for real.
Like, what?
Like 2016, best year ever for the Warriors.
Right.
2016.
Mm-hmm. So
2006.
Mark Jackson made the foundation and created that foundation of what the Warriors were. 2013, 2014. 2015 they win the ring. 2016 they're in the battles with the Cavs. LeBron James comes back from 3-1 against them. But 2017 they get Kevin Durant. 2018 they win back-to-back championships. 2019 he does tear his Achilles in the finals, so they don't get the three-peat that they so hoped for, and Kawhi Leonard wins the ring for the Toronto Raptors. But the Warriors have been through a lot. 2022 comes by. They win a ring with Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins was probably the second best player in that final series, and Steph Curry gets the Finals MVP that he does deserve a lot. The Warriors have been through a lot, and the Warriors have been that lasting dynasty I think that we've seen in the NBA so far. And I wonder the future of dynasties going forward in the NBA and what dynasty will be next in the NBA. But this is the last dynasty that we've seen. And this is why the Warriors have been in the news and been in the coverage for this long. Because guess what? They know how to win. And I watched the game. I don't know, man. I watched the game. It was the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry didn't play in that game. And what I saw in that game made me think like, wow, the Warriors will actually be scary in the playoffs. Draymond Green knows how to play, man. And I'm not saying as far as the scoring aspect of the game. I'm talking about the little things. I think that I think this was in 2019. Kevin Durant was injured in that playoffs. Yes, it was 2019 because he came back in the finals. But during the playoffs, he got injured, I believe, in the first or second round. Warriors had to play Portland in the conference finals that year. Warriors swept the Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, Portland Trailblazers easily. And I think the only factor that made a difference in that series in the playoffs was Draymond Green. What Draymond Green did to Giannis Antetokounmpo in their last matchup, as far as the defensive side of the ball, as far as the high IQ plays that Draymond Green makes on a day-to-day basis, when you add that and you add a Jimmy Butler to a playoff-led Warriors team with Steph Curry, who still can give you what Steph Curry can give you, this team looks dangerous to me. I think they can compete for a spot.
Matchup wise against the Lakers, say for instance. Lakers got everybody back that's hurt right now. Matched up against the Warriors. Okay.
Well, they're not
matched up. Position by position.
Uh-huh.
Okay, who you got?
I got the Lakers.
Okay, so I'm just saying, like, who they scaring?
But other than the Lakers in the West, OKC Thunder, that's not easy. Memphis Grizzlies, Houston Rockets, Phoenix, whoever it is,
those
Denver
young,
Nuggets.
Fast teams scare me. The Golden State don't scare me. The young fast teams, I'm more scared of OKC than Golden State.
If the Lakers get a 3rd seed and the Golden State Warriors get a 6th seed, I don't think the Lakers.
I don't want to see them in the first round.
And that's what I'm saying. You do not want to see this team until you have to see this team. That's all I'm saying. from what I'm seeing from the Golden State Warriors in the past 15 games, I know they haven't played anybody that's been significant, but with the addition of Jimmy Butler and now Steph Curry with a chip on his shoulder, they want to win. And for a team that knows how to win, I think they are scary in the playoffs. And if I had to have a ranking of the scariest teams in the West, I would go Lakers, Warriors, and the OKC Thunder. What do you think about that?
I like Houston.
You like Houston? They're young. They don't have
Houston.
experience.
They holding down that second spot,
second
right
or
now?
third. Yeah, let me look up the rankings right now for the West. It's very close right now, and seeding I think is going to be very important in just how the playoffs goes in general.
They're fighting right now. They're fighting in the West.
Yeah, Sengun, Jalen Green. What is it about the Warriors that you don't like in the playoffs that makes you kind of skeptical of them a little bit?
I'm tired of them first and foremost. I don't give a damn how good they are. I'm tired of seeing them. I'm tired of hearing about them. I'm tired of worrying about Curry. I'm tired of it all. I'm tired of them just like I was tired of Jordan. Just stop it.
But you know it was great, and you know you could never count Jordan out. You know you can never count the Warriors out.
I don't want to see Curry
in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yes.
Much shit as I talk.
As a Lakers fan,
I don't want to see Curry nowhere. I want somebody else to put him out so we don't have to see him at all. I'd rather play Denver.
you rather play Denver than the Warriors.
I do. I'd
As
rather
the
get
Lakers.
Denver out of the way early.
Okay.
I'd rather get Denver out the way early before they heat up.
So what we're looking at right now, and these standings probably will change every day, but we're looking at Oklahoma City as the number 1 seed. They just actually clinched the number 1 seed. We always knew that they would be number 1. But now this is where it gets a little tricky and sticky. Houston Rockets, number 2. Los Angeles Lakers, number 3. Denver Nuggets, number 4. Memphis Grizzlies, number 5. Golden State Warriors, number 6. LA Clippers, number 7. Minnesota Timberwolves, number 8. Sacramento Kings, number 9. And Phoenix Suns, number 10. So when we're looking at playoff matches right now, if the playoffs were to start today, it would be Oklahoma City versus Minnesota. It would be Houston versus the LA Clippers. It would be Los Angeles Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors. And it would be Denver Nuggets versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I think the Lakers would love to either get to the 2 spot or get to the 4 spot. I don't think they want to be in the 3 spot where they would have to face a Golden State Warriors team, even though standings would be different in the long run. I think that the Lakers would want to play Memphis in the first round, or the Lakers would want to play Houston in the first round. So if Houston were to drop down to 4-5, we play them. If Memphis was to drop down to 4-5 and we're 4-5 and we play them, I think that's the best matchup. I don't want to see us play the Golden State Warriors in the first round.
What we got? 15 games left?
About 12. About 12, 11, 10.
Okay.
Yes.
12, 11, 10?
Yeah. About 12, 11, 10. Bron coming back.
Bron coming back probably, if not the next game, the game
After that, yeah.
Rui right after that.
Right.
Right? So they got 10 games to mesh completely because Luka figured it out.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to get easier when LeBron get back.
Right. So Warriors do have a chance. Let's transition to the Lakers a little bit. They have survived without LeBron James. I don't know their record. I think it was like 3-3, 3-4, maybe something like that without LeBron James. But the record really doesn't matter. What I seen
3-3
from
without LeBron.
Okay, what I seen from Luka Doncic, like you're saying, he's figuring out. Austin Reeves came back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
I liked what I seen from the Los Angeles Lakers in the absence of LeBron and a couple of our other main players like Dorian Finney-Smith didn't play in that stretch for some of those games. Jackson Hayes came back from injury and started to ball, and we haven't seen Rui Hachimura yet. Do you think do you think that Luka is integrated enough into this team where we will be dangerous in the playoffs if you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan?
I think so because we got way too many weapons on the floor at one time. Without LeBron on the floor right now, they could double Luka, right?
Right.
Because Rui's not. Rui's not out there.
Right.
So we got some spaces where they can actually lax off some of the defenders. I mean, the offensive players as of right now. But once LeBron gets back and once Rui gets back, who they lagging off of to help? So you can't leave Luka open. You can't leave LeBron open. You can't leave Reeves open. I mean, everybody's been heated up from the three. I'm just saying, man. Jackson Hayes is going to be a lob threat.
Right.
I just can't see nobody beating us in the playoffs. I'm what Charles Barkley say? I guarantee.
Do you think that this team is better than the Mavs team that made the finals last year?
The Mavs team?
Yeah, so Kyrie, Luka,
absolutely.
Gafford,
yes.
PJ Washington.
The Lakers team
this year.
This right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How could you say it's not when you got LeBron and Luka on the same team?
Right. And then you have Austin Reeves as the third.
Come on, stop.
Did
you see what Austin Reeves was doing? Did you see them hand? Oh my God! Come on now, dude. Stop.
That work that Austin Reeves put into his game, I can see the Phil Handy all over his game.
The boy is shifty.
And I wanted to ask you this. Now the Lakers are going to be, very, very, very scary in the playoffs. And Stephen A. said this on First Take, and a lot of people were talking about it. And I've been thinking about it. Do you think that Austin Reeves is the best third option in the NBA right now? Boston, we got Drew Holiday and Derek White.
I would take Reeves over
Both of them?
Yep. Oh, over Derek White?
That's hard. Yeah. For a man that's won it, I mean, it's hard to say.
That's a tough one right there. But you ain't losing. I mean, You can't lose having Reeves as a third option. Even if you lose out to a Derek White that was just in the Olympics.
Right. Lou Williams said that he's not even the best third option in LA, and Norman Powell is better than him as a third option. I don't believe Norman Powell is better than Austin Reeves as a third option. Norman Powell's a really good player.
He said that Reeves is not even the best third option on the Lakers?
He's saying in LA as far as the Clippers versus the Lakers, and Norman Powell is the third option on the Clippers, and he's saying Norman Powell is a better third option than Austin Reeves.
Well,
I would have to disagree.
You got to figure this.
I would have to disagree.
You got to figure like LeBron is shooting how many shots a game. Luke is going to shoot how many shots a game. You see what Reeves can do when one of them is not on the floor.
Right.
The boys damn near averaging 30 points a game.
Right.
How's that not being the best third option?
This would be my pitch for why Austin Reeves is the best third option. I know I might be a little bit biased about this because I do watch every single dribble in every game of the Los Angeles Lakers, and I don't do that for the same 29 other teams in the NBA. So maybe I'm a little biased at what I see, but I do see something. And what I see from Austin Reeves is there's people that play the game. There's people that understand the game, and there's people that just know how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does Austin Reeves know how to play the game, but he also understands the game in a level that not a lot of people understand it. Like
very few mistakes. Very few mistakes
in the basketball IQ. Now, my question would be, and not just because the man's white, he's a white boy, but who has the highest IQ as far as third options in the NBA? I would probably put Austin Reeves at the number one spot of who has the highest IQ.
Oh,
and when we're talking about high IQ basketball, and we're talking about having Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the floor with you, you're thinking and playing the game on a different vibrational pool than the rest of the teams are playing. When you got JJ Redick who doesn't want to sleep during certain matchups, and he wants to be better, and he wants to be a great coach, and he wants to execute on the X's and O's fronts of basketball, and then you have two supercomputers on the court with you, and then you have Austin Reeves who also understands and knows the game just as well as far as an IQ standpoint. Like you said in the playoffs, I don't know how you see that team. When the game slows down and when it comes to the final moments of the game, what are you going to do as an opposing team when you have that to look against?
Who are you leaving?
Who are you leaving?
Nobody.
And like you said, if you double Luka, it's a different scenario that he's ever had. If you double Luka, I mean,
and all three of them can throw that lob to Jackson Hayes.
There you go.
To Hayes.
There you
all
go.
All three of them can throw that.
Right.
I don't know if Rui can throw it. But,
Rui sometimes.
Rui's consistent to me. I like Rui.
Mm-hmm.
Rui's that fourth option.
Right.
I'll live with it.
Right.
I'll live with it.
Right. Him shooting standalone threes and things of that nature.
I'll live with it.
Right.
And then freaking Vincent looked like he gonna be Miami Heat Vincent, huh? Hey, I'm telling you, he's heating up right now at the right time.
Right. So hopefully LeBron and Rui can come back in a significant amount of time where we can just get. I just want to see the whole team healthy, and I want to see maybe 5 to 7 games of them at complete full strength and them just getting the chemistry ready for the playoffs. I'm glad we're not in no play-in mess.
Absolutely.
Like we've been in the last 2-3 years.
Who's going to be in the play-in, you think?
You said what?
Who's going to be in the play-in right as of right now?
I mean, Phoenix, Sacramento. They're all bubbling for that play-in spot, but I don't know what's going on with Phoenix, and we may talk about them later because what I seen from them, let me get into it right now since you brought them up.
I don't get it.
What I seen from Phoenix when they played the Los Angeles Lakers, I believe this was on a Sunday. No defense, but the unorganization is something that caught my eye. They say a lot of times you don't need a point guard at this day and age.
Right.
But what I seen from they're just not an organized basketball team. They're just for you to have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant all on the same team and be that offensively potent. They're just so disorganized as a group. And Kendrick Perkins said because they don't have a leader. I don't know if that's the reason. But if you don't have that guy to galvanize the troops and bring them together and say, hey, guys, this is what we're going to do, it doesn't seem to have any organization. Like, I remember, and Kevin Durant didn't have a great first half, the game that I'm specifically talking about, but Kevin Durant blew by Jackson Hayes on a dunk attempt. Now, Devin Booker wasn't doing anything up to this point, and they were just playing offense. But I felt like there's moments in the game where you should be able to get your stars great looks and great attempts. In that game, Kevin Durant, to me, started off bad because he didn't get any great looks and great attempts. What are you doing as a coach schematically to draw up plays to make sure that your star players are getting easy layups, easy shot attempts, easy buckets? I just watched the 93 NBA Finals, and basketball was played very differently at that time. But guess what? How basketball was played? Effectively. I'm going to get my star players in positions where Michael Jordan could pop out and he gets an open mid-range jumper. Do you know what an open mid-range jumper can do for Michael Jordan? Now I'm on a roll. Now I seen the ball go through the rim. Now I can do whatever I want to do. You got to get your players in position to get easy, adequate shots where they're not spending effort and stamina and time. And because the Phoenix Suns didn't have a point guard, I think that's some of the reason why they haven't been good. But the leader part, to me, also screams a lot. Is there a guy over there that's actually organizing them? And Kevin Durant hasn't seemed to be that guy his whole career. So that was interesting to me. But let's go back to the Lakers real quick. In their last game against the Milwaukee Bucks, Bronny James made headlines. Bronny James, and let me look right now, had 30 minutes in the game.
Non-believers.
7 for 10 from the field, with 17 points, two from 4 from the 3-point line. So he had a really good game.
A very good game.
What did you see from Bronny in his 17-point performance against the Milwaukee Bucks?
I saw the pace. I saw the control.
Xavier, better get on this.
I saw he just looked comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He looked very comfortable out there. He doesn't look like any of this outside noise is bothering him, not one bit. He's going out there, he's playing his game, and you can tell that he's been in that gym.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that his shots are selective, and he's taking the ball. He's quick. I didn't know he was as fast as he was.
Right.
He's quick.
He has a twitchy, fast,
very twitchy, very
athleticism.
quick.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I was impressed. And it wasn't that. And people gonna be, oh, he's supposed to do that. Nobody was playing, but okay, you can't get out there and do it. Everybody's saying that this dude
right.
is a bum.
Right.
They saying he's a bum, that he's not supposed to be out there. But he's scoring 17 on freaking A1 competition.
And it's not like he's just shooting the ball and chucking it. He shot
Absolutely.
7 for 10.
Right. So, I'm not sure what your name is, sir. Xavier. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're going to say to that, but yeah.
I mean, he looked like he was playing really good. We now to get to see what Bronny looks like when giving real valuable minutes and a real shot to play against some steep competition. It looked like you said, I wasn't expecting, or I haven't seen too many glimpses of Bronny looking that fast, that quick, that athletic. But at the end of the day, it looked like 17 points.
17 points
is
17 points. It's a lot of points.
Yeah, it looked like
17 and it wasn't garbage points.
It wasn't garbage
they
points.
They put him in
I
the
just didn't
first
see
couple
anything,
of minutes of the game.
I'm just not seeing what y'all see as far as a player that's gonna take us to any other level.
We didn't
first and foremost, nobody said that.
Right. We could say he could
We're
be a good quality player in the NBA.
We're saying he belongs. Everybody's saying that he does not.
Oh, I didn't say that. I just said it looked like 17 points. Yeah, it looked like a good role player.
Right. It said it was 17 points. I want to make this point. Bronny in this game versus the Milwaukee Bucks didn't shoot any shots that he hasn't normally shot throughout his time where we've seen him in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He's shot those threes, he just hasn't made them.
Right.
Of course, you're gonna have to have time to be comfortable, but there was one full court pass. I don't know if you saw the full court pass to Markieff Morris.
Yeah, he did. And I'm more shocked that he caught the pass.
Right, but
Morris.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't see. I'm not going to say there's not a lot. I don't see a lot of NBA players making full court passes. And I'm not going to overhype a full court pass, but things like that are why I love the game and what gets me excited about the game of basketball. Kevin Love, when you can make a full court pass and you have that passing gene, that was a pass that LeBron James Sr. would have made. And for him to make that pass was important, and for him to get
even not be scared to make that pass.
Right.
That part.
And I think it was there was another play where I'm gonna have to link it to this video. It's a play that Austin does a lot where he gets the ball and he immediately goes into the paint and goes for a layup instead of like going for the screen or whatever. He made a fast twitch move. And what's that showing me is that Bronny is really understanding basic concepts of basketball and understanding how he can take advantage of certain concepts of basketball. Austin Reeves, who we talked about being that third option that has the highest IQ, is showing you certain ways where you can take advantage of the defense and score. And for Bronny to then take those principles and put it in his own game and say, or I can do a dribble handoff real quick and then go to the hoop and get my layup or finish or do what I need to do. You're learning the game. You're showing me that you do belong here in this NBA, and we knew this all along. I mean, you came from LeBron James.
That's why I don't understand why people didn't see.
You see it, but
who's his daddy?
Throughout all the criticism and everything that Bronny is doing, we see the work that's being put in from opening night day one to now, and it's just great to see the kid growing throughout all the pressure that he's getting.
How could you not get better when you're around LeBron?
Come on. Luka
and Reeves.
Right.
I'm
Supercomputers.
Like, stop it.
Right.
I'm like, stop it. I'm like, I don't understand how people just rooting against this. And you know what's crazy is the athletes aren't rooting against this guy.
Right.
It's the media that's talking.
The naysayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just trying to write the narrative.
Right.
If I'm gonna do one thing, I'm gonna write a narrative now.
Talk to it.
I'm gonna write a narrative now. Let me give me a pen.
Right. But we're hoping Bronny James. I see a long future. If he wants to play basketball, I see a long future for the
5
kid.
years he was winning Lakers a championship.
Stop it.
Alongside of Luka.
That's how long it took Jordan, right? No, it took Jordan, what, 7?
But didn't Jordan also go to college for 4 years?
Jordan went to college for 2.
Yeah, it took Jordan a very long time.
Yeah, he went to college for 2.
To win anything.
Bronny called it before Jordan?
Relax. But these are the topics that we talked about on Another Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. We are here. March Madness is ensuing. Playoffs are revving up, and we will be here to talk about it all. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe on the bottom. I am Cayman, your host. Peace.